volatility is back in the crypto market, and we are about $2 trillion. We are going towards $2.15 trillion. Yes, the market is moving, and there are coins which are moving great. We have seen coins like SIL doing 137% in a week, and then others are following. Like you look at Holo, it's following that one. You go look at the next page, you see DigiByte, that's running crazy. You now see Dent. There's a lot of different coins running hard, and you come back to the main page and you ask, okay, what's XRP doing? One of the biggest coin with the huge amount of market cap. Now the volume is a little bit lower compared to what we used to have before. So yes, we need more volume, and we are waiting for that volume to come in. Right now, you look at the liquidity, sellers are there. It's more than the buyers as of now. So if volume comes in, that means a lot of sellers are going to be liquidated soon. And does it actually point you towards a bigger narrative when the market is taking off? Yes, the bigger narrative is coming. The hype will become reality. Right now, you're looking at the opportunity and you're saying, okay, what can a market do? Last time in this run up, we actually did crazy numbers, 330x after wave 1. Right? So right now we're looking at 200x. It may sound crazy, but sometimes maybe we don't know. We may do 50x, we may do 75 or 100x, but that's big numbers. You look at BTC, it's crossing to the upside right now. We had this pattern, we talked about this. Look at the double bottom possibility. We broke higher in the RSI. We had this pattern. If you remember, we've talked about this pattern in comparison with Zcash. Now, that's not 3 months back. It's in the same month, March, right? When we compared BTC and Zcash like this, yes, Zcash went higher. It broke that pattern to the upside, and we talked about that. Then we followed up saying, okay, ETC is also showing similar pattern. So the possibilities are higher that this one can break to the upside like Zcash. Then you go look at what happened there. Yes, it did the same exact stuff. So it was not a surprise for us that Bitcoin did this. We were looking for that from some time because we had a higher odds, 70%, suggesting that we may break to the upside. And here we are right now, 46,500. So that's great, right? We just broke to the upside. Now, if we take a step back and look at this macro narrative, now this is just looking for last 1.5 2 years, and you're like, okay, fine, I can see a double bottom possibility in the RSI, in the MACD, and if that happens, what you're going to observe is that the price is making a reaccumulation and a reversal from this correction, which can be like this. Because remember, previously people were talking continuously about the double top possibility. So it's the opposite of what we are observing right now. But yes, if we break to the downside, that's going to be the bad days. But remember, this is your support. You didn't even come to touch that range. The buyers were into this. They are easing the selling pressure, or otherwise sellers are getting exhausted. So if you are able to get this breakout, which you're getting right now, and a daily candle close, that's going to give you room to the upside. So what's going to be that measured move? 33% to the upside if you are looking at this particular pattern. So with this break, now what's your target for Bitcoin? You're taking that 33% and it comes close to $60,000. Now ask yourself, at $60,000, will you be waiting for a bear market or a continuation of the bull market where the alts are going to go crazy? Now yes, when Bitcoin goes high, not big cap coins won't actually run crazy. Some of them will, few, 1 or 2 of them will do, but majority would be getting that money volume when Bitcoin slows down. It reaches the top, it slows down, money is moved from there, it trickles down into other assets, and that's when you're going to see that massive runs in different currencies. Now yes, this market is right now turning to be crazy. You look at a lot of coins and you're like, okay, a lot of them are getting attention. And if you go look at what we have been doing from some time, we've talked about this. We've talked about most of this coming in, right? Recently, we've been hitting our targets, on a regular basis. Target hit, target hit, target hit. Why does these happen? Because you're prepared. You're well positioned in these assets which are expected to do well. So yes, there are coins which are doing negative. Yes, there are coins which are doing great stuff. So you are just comparing it between, and you're like, okay, there's a huge possibility in this market to make money. If you're an XRP holder, yes, that's great. It's the fundamental asset, but understand there are other assets with increasing fundamentals. They're improving. When we actually saw these opportunities, we were like, okay, fine, we are getting volume. Now, yes, as a short-term trade, I was looking at this, and then I informed my members, okay, this is going to be an opportunity, right? Now, that's like a week back. Then, yesterday, I'm like, okay, we are breaking out. The volume is huge. Great volume came in with the breakout, right? So I was like, okay, what's happening? I went on, did my research, and I understood, okay, the platform is getting more adoption. That means, yes, metaverse here is here for long term, and you're going to see a lot of different stuff. And as you go through the basic research, you understand, okay, this particular stuff is getting a lot of adoption. And then what happens? Boom, 200%. So it is not only XRP. Now, yes, these fundamentals cannot or never match what XRP has done and what the technology can do. So the adoption, the layers, the ability is different. So that's why we are anticipating an explosion in the price for XRP. You don't even get a better word for that, because when it moves crazy. But as an XRP holder, if you can do 5%, take it out and put it into different assets, 5 different assets, at least 1% each, not just the meme coins, but the real coins with fundamentals like this. There are others too, and they do fantastic stuff. This is another one, Digibyte. We talked about this, right? We were like, okay, this is a falling wedge pattern which usually breaks to the upside. Then what happens? The market goes crazy. Boom. We ran higher, 80% for that day. Now, this actually continues. We've been posting about these breakouts. We've been hitting these targets in a lot of different assets, right? We give targets, we are breaking through that. We give targets, we are getting onto that level. So if you are looking at this and like, okay, this market can do a lot of different stuff for me, you can definitely look into the Patreon where I post all of this. If you look at this is Holo, which, is moving right now. Crazy. We had its targets like this. Right now, you're hitting them. Then you look at other one, WeChain. You go to the charts, you're like, okay, that's happening right now. So a lot of different stuff is happening in the market, right? We do post this regularly so that you know where we are and where your asset is, so that when to take profit is not a question mark anymore. Where to buy is not a question mark anymore. So guys, the Patreon, the link is given in the description below, and it's better to start early next month. But we don't know what the market is going to do in the meantime. Let's see. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Now, looking at XRP on a similar basis, okay, what the pattern suggests to you and what the market is doing, okay, this is a possibility, right? We have seen many different coins doing same. Say, for example, you look at Dent. It had a pattern like this, where, you had a possibility if you're breaking higher, you get a lot more in targets. And right now, you go look at the same asset and it's doing fantastic stuff, right? It's running crazy. Now, that means when you're looking at XRP right now with this break, you have a target of $1. Now, understand that's like this. Your time frame is like 2 weeks to 3 weeks. That's what you're looking at, maybe 4 weeks, right? But then you're like, okay, let me give a little bit more time. The pattern change. Right, you are looking for a different trade setup where you are like, okay, a month to 2 would be fine for me, and then your target goes like this. But understand, these markets, it's crazy. You kind of see assets doing 100% a day. Yesterday, Zell actually went crazy, hit that level, right? So right now, if you have time, do understand these kind of fluctuations will definitely come in the market, because this is the stuff where a lot of people are in. Right, we broke higher, we stayed above that. Now we need a bounce. So with that bounce, these two short to medium term targets are going to be hit soon, and as soon as they are filled, the supply is going for this ride, right? Yes, you have to observe what the Bitcoin is doing, but right now Bitcoin is breaking higher, so it doesn't actually kind of give you that narrative of we are going to 30,000, we are going to 20,000 right now. When you're breaking to the upside, that is not the narrative. What you would be looking at or should be looking at is the resistance areas where we get slowed down and then go back up, because the trend right now on a 3-day chart is looking like this. So you are like, okay, fine, that's a corrective channel, and where are we going? Because usually when you move inside parallel lines, that's a correction and the trend has changed. But this 3-day chart also suggests you not only that, a double bottom. So that's where you are like, okay, if we are breaking to the upside, the double bottom gets more side. So the price is breaking to the upside, which gives you an idea, okay, we may break to the upside here in the RSI too. With that, the double bottom comes into play. So now, when you go onto a daily chart, you're like, okay, you will definitely have resistance as you're going up. People who are stuck at these levels, they would try to take profits. They would try to get out of the market. So as you go higher towards 60K, you're going to get a lot of selling pressure. But if those sellers are being kicked out from the market violently, make sure alts are doing crazy and you are taking the profits, right? Taking profits is so important. Let it be any coin, because right now in this market, you do understand, yes, we are going to do these stuff, right? Say you look at Ether. Right now, if you're going onto the chart of Ether, on a daily chart, this is what you're observing there. Right now, we had similar pattern for Zcash, ETC, BTC, everything just broke higher. And what makes us think, Ether won't actually do that? Because if Ether is about to repeat that one, you remember this, right? We talked about this. So for those who are prepared, they are looking for around a 40% run up in Ether with this break. So that 40% takes Ether close to $4,500, which is, somewhere close to the all-time highs. So we are back to that level with just this short-term breakout. Now you go into the macro level of the charts to understand, okay, this is a short-term rally which we are talking about. So if you are able to continue that momentum, then at the same time XRP is $2 or above, right? That's where these patterns comes into play, right? But here the target is all-time highs, $3.7, $3.8. So when Ether is getting towards that $4,500, $5,000 mark, if XRP is at $3.6, yes, there is a lot of volume shifting from Ether, BTC and all towards XRP. And maybe there is going to be a settlement announcement in 3 to 6 months. We don't know. But if that's going to happen, the price will be going higher. But if there is a clue for the big guys that the price is getting to the upside, and that news is kind of getting priced in. So even if there is a settlement announcement when XRP is at $20, $25, I don't think it's going to $1,000 like this. There will be sellers, there will be profit takers, right? The market will correct, and that's healthy. Because when you zoom out, if you are here as an investor for the long run, you are in this asset not just for the short-term profits. Now, yeah, I agree. We are here from some time. You are saying, okay, I've been here for 2 years. I'm writing this. It's not giving me that huge ROI. Wait for some more time. And once you get these right, say, for example, you look at this. It was small, but that was good, right? And again, it was not that small, but it was great. Then you observed this particular rally where we went to $2. So right now, when you're bouncing from the support, you are anticipating that to go high, wild. Right? So as it goes higher, understand it's not going to stay there for all time. It would correct and then go back up. So you following your targets, your exit strategies properly will give you the ability to make more ROI. Because as this breaks, you have a lot of pattern, because the last one we discussed was for a medium term. Medium to long term, you are looking for a breakout which kind of takes XRP from here all the way up to this level, $7 mark. So that's medium to long term breakout, just not the wave structure, just the breakout. So you have a lot of targets if you are well prepared on your assets, and that's why we do deliver the targets, wave 2 targets, where you should be taking your profits, at what percentage it would be better for you and all. So looking at these stuff, you are like, okay, if that's going crazy, you are going to look at XRP BTC pair too, because BTC is moving higher, XRP is kind of slow. That still gives you the room to the upside, which you really need to run. Because even when XRP is at $5 and XRP BTC pair is like this, we are here, that means you have a lot of room to the upside. When Bitcoin is slowing down, when Bitcoin is correcting down, this is going to go wild. So the $6, $7 mark is just that breakout which you're eyeing, even when the entire market is moving up. But then you get the break where, some of these big assets, people are taking profits from that, and they're like, okay, where should I place these? And they go to fundamental asset at that time, because when you have $1,000, you may take 100% risk. But when it is $100,000, you may not do that. When it's 10 times that, you may not do that. So $10,000, you won't take the same risk as you took with the $1,000 mark, right? So you look for fundamental asset with reduced risk and higher reward structure, and that's where XRP, XLM, HBAR, Quant, these kind of payment tokens come in. They are having that fundamentals. You can do a basic fundamental analysis on these, and you're like, okay, that's crazy. These assets are gonna do wonderful stuff. But do you have the time to sit in this market? Because say, for example, you go look at Dent. Yes, it used to be a risky asset, but right now there's a lot of utility. If you follow the news, if you follow the project, you understand there's a lot of money coming in, the brain power coming in, utility happening. So similarly, in this market again, you get a lot of other assets with increasing fundamentals. So people, when taking profits, they would be distributing that into 3 or 4, 5 different projects. So one of them, when they blast out, it kind of goes like this, nuts, right? You don't know what's going to happen, but in the market, you see a lot of different projects doing like these crazy numbers. And you make sure when one project does 100% a day, there would be correction for sure. There would be corrections. People would take profit. It will slow down 5, 10, 20% and then go up. So you also have to take 5% out at that time. What if it drops 20% and you take, that 5% at the top? You may be able to buy back. Now, if you don't want to take that hassle, stay away. Just give more time, and these are going to hit your medium to long-term targets where your ROI is going to be huge. And that's what you actually really want to have in your portfolio. One of the main reasons why we have XRP as a fundamental asset in our portfolio is because when you do basic or even extended search for the fundamentals, you come across a ton of news on a regular basis. It can be daily, it can be weekly. You kind of get a lot of news. So when ZIL went up like that, it didn't actually have anything similar to that of XRP, right? It's not even comparable. But payments is a space where a ton of players are going to be there. It's not only going to be XRP, we know that, but there's going to be a bridge mechanisms for the CBDCs. You look at this report where they're talking about the NFT space, CBDCs, liquidity, payments, compliance, all those stuff. And this is here to stay. While the CBDCs are going to roll out 3 years, 6 years from now, it won't be what you are looking at. You'll have an entire different finance, and your banks, your cards, everything which you know about payments is going to change. And that change is taken over by these technology. And one of that would be XRP Ledger for sure, with the Interledger protocol. How they are pushing this one is that narrative. So if you believe in that narrative, you are like, okay, I'm strong, I'm steady, I'm gonna ride this till I take my profits. And where will you take your profits? Hard, but if you look at the charts, it kind of gives you that idea where you should be taking your profits, because when the market pumps, you are reaching there easily, so you know where to take the profits, right? So you prepare well first and then wait till the price reaches your targets. Let it be short term, let it be medium, let it be long term. If you have your targets based on the charts and price history, you are kind of well prepared than the others to take your profits out. That's why we do this, right? It's hard for me, it's hard for anyone to know this, but we try to look at the history and learn from what happened in the history to project it into the future. So that even if it's doing 100% and you're taking profit at 90, that's okay in my eyes. I'll say even 80 is great, right? So that kind of perspective is being laid out in the Patreon. So if you want to join, you can look at the link in the description below and get these charts where you now know what your portfolio is holding, whether it's risky, whether it's, something which is going to go down or up. If it's going up, where to take the profits. If it's going down, where to buy more. That kind of stuff is literally there in this group. Guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.